Title 4. Extinction of criminal liability. Chapter 2. Partial extinction of criminal liability. Article 94. Partial extinction of criminal liability. Criminal liability is extinguished partially. 1. By conditional pardon. 2. By commutation of the sentence, and 3. For good conduct allowances which the culprit may earn while he is serving his sentence. Article 95. Obligation incurred by person granted conditional pardon. Any person who has been granted conditional pardon shall incur the obligation of complying strictly with the conditions imposed therein, otherwise, his non-compliance with any of the conditions specified shall result in the revocation of the pardon, and the provisions of Article 159 shall be applied to him. Article 96. Effect of commutation of sentence. The commutation of the original sentence for another of a different length and nature shall have the legal effect of substituting the latter in the place of the former. Article 97. Allowance for good conduct. The good conduct of any prisoner in any penal institution shall entitle him to the following deductions from the period of his sentence. 1. During the first 2 years of his imprisonment, he shall be allowed a deduction of 5 days for each month of good behavior. 2. During the 3rd to the 5th year, inclusive, of his imprisonment, he shall be allowed a deduction of 8 days for each month of good behavior. 3. During the following years until the 10th year, inclusive, of his imprisonment, he shall be allowed a deduction of 10 days for each month of good behavior, and 4. During the 11th and successive years of his imprisonment, he shall be allowed a deduction of 15 days for each month of good behavior. Article 98. Special time allowance for loyalty. A deduction of 1/5 of the period of his sentence shall be granted to any prisoner who, having evaded the service of his sentence under the circumstances mentioned in Article 58 of this Code, gives himself up to the authorities within 48 hours following the issuance of a proclamation announcing the passing away of the calamity or catastrophe to in said article. Article 99. Who grants time allowances. Whenever lawfully justified, the Director of Prisons shall grant allowances for good conduct. Such allowances once granted shall not be revoked.